Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction. I am probably the most or some of the most top 10 most excited I've ever been about a reaction because if there's two bands out there currently, let's say in their peak, that are doing incredible things, getting more and more notoriety and popularity that I wish that I could rediscover as a reactor, it would be Sleep Token and Bad Omens. Uh, those are two of my Sleep Token became a favorite later on, but Bad Omens is one of my all-time favorite bands. I discovered them back when Glass Houses, I believe it was the first song that I checked out. Then I dove into their first album. Uh, their evolution, like being a fan of them back at a time where I remember seeing so many comments of being like, comparisons to Bring Me the Horizon, and then the evolution of them from going to something that could be incredibly heavy to something that could be really really poppy and catchy, like Limits, for example. But everything kind of like evolved in such a way, and I feel like their popularity became so much grander with Death of Peace of Mind, the album. The song itself, the title was incredible. It's like if there's ever going to be um, another James Bond franchise that is a little bit grittier or something that would allow it to be a little bit more dark, I feel like that song would absolutely fit incredibly well. But other than that song, the entire album is my album of the year of 2022. And I probably listened to it on loop for like a month and a half every single day. Now, we have a brand new song by Bad Omens featuring Poppy, or a collab with Poppy. Now, Poppy is a very interesting artist that I discovered, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but I discovered her because I'm a pro wrestling fan. And back then, her song was featured on a feature video, a vignette that the WWE has done for an NXT superstar called, back then her name was Io Shirai. I think she changed her ring name, but it was so amazing. And I think that Poppy actually performed the song live as Io Shirai's entrance on NXT back then. So I'm very familiar with her, not as much as with Bad Omens, but I have checked out a couple of her songs, and it's trippy, there's heaviness, there's poppiness, no pun intended to it, but I'm really really excited about this collab and how insane it could potentially be. So without further ado, Van, V.A.N. by Bad Omens and Poppy. Let's go. Oh. Violence against nature. Okay, V.A.N. Oh, you hear the... Yes! Fuck yeah! Ooh. Getting some Mick Gordon Doomy vibes a little bit. Oh, what the fuck? Play this at a club. This will rock everybody. Holy fuck. This is so groovy.
Happiness is an illusion, it's an analog confusion. You are nothing more than a thought. Existential execution, just a fluke in evolution. History already forgot. You've been running from me like the dirt all second coming, and I'm here whether you like it or not. Initiated operation of your own extermination. Now it's too late for you to stop.
Ooh. Double Poppy.
Everyone hates you.
Oh! Damn! What the holy shit! Ooh! I feel like I just entered a badass vampire club or something, and this is the music that is playing out there. Holy shit. We'll talk about the lyrics later, but for now, holy... Oh!
Violence against
Holy
nature.
shit. What in the actual fuck? This song was absolutely bonkers. Honestly, a little bit. I'm sure some are surprised, including myself, that Noah doesn't sing on this song. However, from a quick look, it seems like he did write and produce this one. The way this song sounds is incredible. It's dark, gritty, futuristic. Poppy's vocals, at times, obviously, the harsh screams are very reminiscent of the vibe that Bad Omens themselves are trying to convey whenever they have screaming in their songs. Because there's a lot of songs where there's no screaming, but whenever they do scream, it's for a purpose of like expressing anger, frustration. It's not just screaming for the sake of screaming. It's for the sake of like either like a song going absolutely bonkers, or a song that later on incorporates screaming to emphasize various emotions, or just letting off the steam in something like Concrete Jungle, the song, which ironically, number one, apparently there's a Concrete Jungle comic book, which I didn't know about. And there is also a connection to Concrete Jungle, the comic book. Poppy is apparently, from an article that I found on Loudwire, apparently Poppy takes on the role of Concrete Jungle AI character V.A.N, whose Violence Against Nature, the song, and with her angelic singing and menacing screaming. So it's basically an AI character gone rogue, which is why she says in the beginning, how does it feel to create something that hates you, or something among those lines, which I thought was really, really interesting, because it's a constant struggle in today's society, creating things that ultimately could destroy us. If movies were any indication, fucking Skynet, but just in the real world, how technology could replace you. How I feel like even a song like Concrete Jungle kind of like talks about that, or artificial suicide as well, talks about basically living in a world that is getting harder and harder to live in due to the circumstances and the hands that you were dealt with, and basically letting things that are inhuman take the humanity away from us, whether it's, social media, whether it's social status, whether it's seeing you for the the entity or the commodity, I believe, in concrete, or in artificial suicide. Noah literally says the word commodity, but like not treating people as people, but just treating them as what they can offer um, outside of their humanity in a way. Now, the interesting part about this music video is that we basically see what appears to be like two versions of Poppy, if I'm not mistaken. One is obviously the contained Poppy, the AI concrete jungle character V.A.N. Uh, and then we see a scientist version of Poppy, which to me is almost kind of like the basic emphasis of humanity did that to themselves. Like you created it, you let it out, and you wanted to go out into the wild just to see how far it can go, and also because you know that you cannot contain it, because it's out of your reach. Like using the best features in humans to like create something revolutionary that later takes out the humanity away from you and destroys you completely. That's the premise for a lot of like sci-fi movies and whatnot. Wanting to do something great and then it being the great ender of the world and whatnot. I love the constant visual of the butterfly as well with Poppy. Like butterfly literally symbolizes transformation, um, but also it is something within nature, I guess, in the context of this music video. And this is so against nature, what they're doing in the concept of this music video. So that was also kind of interesting. We see like this black apple, uh, almost like a forbidden fruit in a way, to basically kind of like creating like a biblical mistake. All the power that you have and the temptation that you couldn't resist, and you continue to fuck with the character, with the experiment, and you continue to go on and on and on until it was too late. And as in all movies, you know, the creation gets out of control. Her being surrounded in that glass box, like the flooring is like this greenery and whatnot was also really interesting, almost like touching grass in a way, like the expression of some people need to go outside and touch some grass. So it's like learning humanity. So it's like these scientists are doing everything within their power to make Poppy human, and she realizes that fuck humans, that they do not deserve to live on this earth in the beginning, and the world will be much better off without them. Or something among those lines. I feel like, you know, the biggest threat to humanity is humans kind of thing is what we see in a lot of movies. So maybe it follows that a little bit. Plus, there's obviously potentially like some social commentary. Noah is very expressive with his lyrics, and you know, a lot of their lyrics is quite poetry in my opinion, and it's very very beautiful and very very symbolic, very visceral. So already in the first verse, she's already saying, "I'm in your algorithm, learning all of your mannerisms." That is such a reflection on like AI and how it's being used today, and basically kind of like taking over. A million words a second, and I know your imperfections. I'm the only future you've got. They literally kind of like created God or a character that let themselves believe that they're God. I did find the second verse incredibly interesting because they managed to infuse both the words, or inject both the words analog and digital. Analog in terms of kind of like talking about happiness as an illusion. It's an analog confusion, a confusion of like the good old days of how it used to be, like happiness and whatnot, potentially. But then existential execution, just a fluke and evolution. I really love the wordplay and the rhyme scheme. History already forgot. You've been running from me, the digital second coming. So there's like analog and now digital, because digital, she's the AI. She's so much better, smarter, and everything else. And online basically taking over, as analog is more of an, I guess, the old school kind of thing. Like I looked some stuff up online, but this brain is barely comprehending it. But I just found that to be kind of interesting. And then the ending of the second verse is pretty much what we talked about early on, of the initiated operation of your own extermination. Now it's too late for you to stop. You created this, and it's so much bigger than you could ever imagine. Now, as you realize the power that it has over you, you can't do anything but watch. Then the breakdown comes in, which was absolutely fucking dope. But looking at the lyrics, I'm already like, I need to listen to that song again now. But she talks about how I can erase everything that you know. I am death, and I'm not alone. But then there's like a weird thing that happens is like she repeats "not alone," then the word "alone" comes in a couple of times, and then it's like she's trying to convince you that she's not alone, but then the word "alone" comes in a few more times. I'm not alone, but in reality, I am alone. She runs alone into the wild. The chorus is really, really interesting because she says violence against nature. Obviously, it's not her violence against our nature, humans, but rather the humanity's violence against nature because we see the butterfly, we see the green grass, the grass. That Poppy is standing or on her knees in that box, and we see a bunny as well. It's like all the experiments and everything that is wrong with this world, like that black substance that they inject Poppy with, the black apple and everything else is like the world that is the humans that are destroying the world that they're living in while thinking that they're making the world a better place. But in reality, they're just killing it. They're killing the nature, kind of, is what I'll take from it. All in all, this was an absolutely badass song. It was violent. It had a really futuristic element to it. I would love to see this in some kind of a sci-fi movie. This absolutely sounds like it could be a soundtrack for either a movie or a video game, honestly. One of the two, maybe even a TV show about extinction of mankind at the causation of uh, humans themselves that created AI and all that kind of stuff. And basically the destruction of all of it. So that would be a pretty cool thing to witness. It definitely has more so even like a video game soundtrack. I kept on thinking of like the Doom soundtrack for with some of the electronics and it just had a little bit of a Mick Gordon influence to it, but at the same time there were parts that sounded very very much different from just being influenced by Mick Gordon. It was very much their own. It was unique and it was super groovy. Like some of the parts in the songs, again, made me think of like some badass, fancy vampire club for some reason. And that music would play in there. But yeah, this was absolutely awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If I made any sense, let me know in the comment section and I will catch you all in the next one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new and be well and safe wherever you are. See you.